Hey, B3 here. I'm going to talk about a real life claim example. You guys won't believe this, but it's something that's going on right now in the industry that we need to put on people's radar. Got a real life client that brokered a large, high value piece of freight to another party. They carried it partial portion of the way. They double brokered it to another party, and it turns as though that other party wasn't who they say it were. It was a fraudulent carrier. Load got picked up, disappeared, $500,000 worth of cargo gone. Right. So we're going through the claims adjustment process right now, and it's bringing to the attention a lot of problems on the cargo space. Okay, that people need to be aware of. Now, ultimately, this type of claims activity where these fraudulent and haulers or these people that are impersonating motor carriers going on a lot, particularly in the intermodal space, and cargo insurers have been catching these claims for a while, and now they're starting to push back, and they're pushing back under the premise that, look, our form says that when you broker a load, you give it to a motor carrier. Well, ultimately, you didn't do that. You gave it to somebody who is impersonating a motor carrier, and therefore no coverage applies. So now we're running into a situation where we're seeing a shift in the industry where cargo insurers are starting to deny these kind of claims, and it's becoming an industry-wide problem. So it's something of which that these fraudulent haulers are on the radar now. We ourselves are looking at, some type of form or coverage enhancements to kind of bridge the gap here, whether it be on the cyber side or the cargo side. But really what we need to do is just let consumers know ultimately that this type of stuff is out there, and they need to be paying attention to it, on the safety and loss control front. Have you guys seen this kind of stuff on your client side?
Yeah, we've had some situations. I had one customer with two of the similar claim in nature where their FMCSA account was hacked and took over some loads. The claims processes are ongoing, but yeah, we have seen it, and it's I keep seeing the topic on various freight broker groups and whatnot. It's a hot item. It's a hot button. There needs to be a ways to address it. There needs to be the proper protocols in to prevent it, right? I've got a really good client down in the Florida area that's got a really good set of protocols that he's put in place, and we're going to be in talks with him about how to potentially help implement some of those protocols for the rest of our client base as well.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Because the cyber form with fraudulent impersonation is really focused more on electronic type loss, right? Usually involving money and funding something as someone impersonates, a CEO or a CFO or a client or whatever, right? So you have this real property exposure with the cargo that a traditional cyber form probably isn't going to pick up unless it's got some enhancements to it. And to your point, Brian Palazzi, it's a tough one on the cargo side because they never intended to have to cover those type of losses. And it doesn't take too many of those before an insurance carrier says, hey, time out, guys, right? We didn't contemplate this in the pricing, and we assumed you were doing some things on your end. Once these things started to pop up, okay, now we've got to adjust. So either you're looking at a form enhancement that costs a couple bucks to do, but might be well worth it, right? Or you've got to, once again, we're back to like we are with the hired and unknown coverage. We're back to safety and loss control. And how can you proactively approach things a little bit safer with a little bit more of your risk management hat on to prevent losses?